Alright, so a few first things that I need to show are basically right-clicking anywhere on the tape recorder. Bring this up. Don't mess with pre-fader. If you go into pre-fader, you're only locked to 2 channels. You don't want that. Do the post-fader. I suggest using B2. Doesn't really make a difference, but B2 just normally doesn't get used. And then you can select how many ever channels you want. I just choose 6 because that's all I really need at this point. Set your output. Make sure the file type's on BWF. It exports as a WAV file, but a BWF is what allows it to have multiple channels in one WAV file. So next you come over here, system settings. So what you want right here is the patch composite. If you click anywhere on this line right here, it changes between post and pre-fader. Put it on post because that's what you're doing. Now here's the tricky bit. These are your 8 to 6 channels, whatever it is that you're wanting to use. And actually, I just remembered I do want 8 channels. Okay. So each one of these, you have channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now your left and rights are actually going to be separated into individual channels. So say, you have your N1 left here, N1 right. Whenever you import that file into Premiere Pro, your first channel will literally only be the left side of that recording, and the second one will be right. Which you can do, like here, I have my N1, N2, which is my 2 inputs here. So you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that corresponds to these. So you got stack 1. Or actually, they call them strips. So it's strip 1, strip 2, strip 3, 4, and 5. So I have right here in my first channel only doing the left of my microphone. And then right here, I just have my backup microphone. It's the one on my headset. So if I walk away from, my professional microphone here, I can flip down my microphone on my headset and then just continue talking. So like I can switch. I got my headset on now, and all I had to do is just flip the microphone down on the headset because it's already enabled here in VoiceMeeter. I just pull it down, and once it's up, it's automatically muted again. So because it's a microphone, I don't need left and right. I just need one, and then I'll show you more about that in Premiere as why you don't need the right and why it doesn't need any editing. So I have the same with that, both microphones. Now third is Spotify. Music sometimes has left and rights, so I decided to keep them. It just works out because I have 2 for microphones, and then I have my left and right for my third input, left and right for my fourth, and left and right for my fifth, which would be my desktop. So I want game audio to record with in stereo, basically. And the same with comms, just for the heck of it, even though that isn't going to be stereo at all. I just liked because it fit properly in all 8 channels. As for everything else, none of this you really need to mess with. The patch insert, completely useless. I tried messing with it on these inserts to try and get like the number 1 right to patch into the left here, so it would be stereo, but I wouldn't have to designate one channel to the right. It doesn't work. I'm pretty sure all this is used for is pre-fader recordings. So when you're coming over here, it's just for all this stuff. But we're not using that. So I guess to demonstrate how it works in Premiere Pro when you're recording is also actually you can see up here in, I guess, the visualizer or the visualizer, you see how many channels you got. There's 8 channels here. And just for the heck of it, if I start playing Spotify, you see that now, this is my left, the microphone. If I was on here, see on this microphone, now it's on there. And the Spotify is playing the left and right in those channels. If I had anything routed through my desktop, say a YouTube video or whatever, it would be playing in those channels. And so on and so forth. Comms, if it was coming through, you'd see it on those two. It also demonstrates that here. But I'm actually going to replay that. And so now I'll do a recording here. Say test, test, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Now, all you need to do, this is where you see my files, documents, VoiceMeeter recordings. All you got to do is drag that file to your project, bring it onto the timeline, and you automatically have all 8 channels. So, say, let's see. Unlink them all. You can even group those, that way you have them together as your left and right. Or actually, probably merging would be better. Guess, I don't know too much about that stuff. But you can see, like, here was my 2 music channels. I can mute that one so you can see, got the music playing there. Then I can solo this one, say test, test, blah, blah, blah. So you can hear, obviously that was my microphone. But just makes it super easy because you already have your audio file. It's in all channels. You don't have to have a separate program. It's all within VoiceMeeter. Super easy. The other thing is the macros. So if you come in here, where is it? Macro buttons run on VoiceMeeter start. You want to check that. When you first check it, it'll automatically open it up. Once it's open, though, you have to, I guess, search for the actual program. You can hit that. If you select this when it's already checked, this is just a tick box. So if you select it again, it's going to unselect it. I can get into it here. So these are currently my macros. I have F8 set to start recording. F9 is to stop. So I can... Okay, so it appeared my macros actually stopped working there for a second, so I just reset it. Closed it, reopened it, so whoa. So I have these macros set up, just simple stuff. There's so much more you can do with these, but this one, if you right click on it, you can see it's just a push button. Set it to the F8 key. So the request to turn the button on, just simple. It's recorder.record equals 1, 1 on, 0 off. So there's that. My stop button set to F9, recorder.stop. 1 for on. Easy. So if I hit F8, you can see it starts recording. See, I've got a new file there. Stop it. And it's done. Got a new file. Now, the cool thing you can do with these macros, if you come over here, is the user manual for Banana. And they have all of the commands and the parameters for each and every single thing you can do with the macros. So they have super cool stuff for like push to talk. You could have it to where you press a macro, whichever one you have set up, but it's programmed to mute one output, enable another, so on and so forth. They had another example in here somewhere about how you can, where was it? Yeah, this one. So it's made to where basically if your microphone goes over a certain volume, or if an input or something goes over a certain volume, it reduces the gain for other outputs so you can hear that one better. Stuff like that there's some pretty crazy stuff you can do with the macros. It's very impressive what they have going on here.